Hi, my name is Preti Taneja and I'm the author of a novel called We That Are Young. It's my debut novel and it's a translation of Shakespeare's King Lear set in contemporary India. So it's really a book about rising fascism and social control. It's set in an elite family of great privilege and power, and it's really talking about feminism and greed and inequality, and really how humans exist in a very tragic situation. It brings together a lot of the things that I'm very interested in, including social justice. I really focus on cultural rights and minority rights, and I also teach in a high security prison. So I feel like my interests are not that wide actually. I'm just interested in every aspect of how humans behave in the world, but the thing and our relationship to the natural world and climate change and climate disaster is a really important part of that. I feel like I grew up in a situation where I was always an outsider, and that gave me a kind of perspective on the world which has given me a strong desire to be an advocate for social justice. I really do identify with people who have that same feeling that somehow their bodies don't belong, their skin colour might be wrong, their religion is not welcome. For some reason, I just can't be any other way, and that is how my writing is shaped. The most exciting thing about teaching is seeing students gain confidence in their own abilities. I think that education is an inalienable human right. It really needs to be something that is accessible for everybody, no matter what kind of social background, race or religion or language they're from. All of us have the right to education, and for me, activism is so much more than just quoting human rights. It's about implementing them, advocating for them, practicing them. When I am in a classroom full of students and we're talking about writing, talking about humans and how they interact with each other in the world, and how we can use our voices for whatever purpose to make change. Well, first of all, I don't think that my advice is really for young writers, because I didn't start writing till I was 35. It took me a long time to give myself that sense that I could do it, even though I had wanted to do it since I was very small. That's partly because of growing up as a second generation British Asian woman in the UK, which really does have a huge distance to go before young women from my background, similar backgrounds, women of colour from working class and lower middle class backgrounds feel like they have the right to be published, because there just aren't enough people like us being published in our social world. So if you're writing, you're beginning to write, the first thing you have to do is just to say you can. And sit down, give yourself the time, do some writing every day, exercise your writing muscles, and then just be as interested in the world as you possibly can be, because every aspect of it has something that it can contribute to your writing. And I suppose if you're a reader, then you're already becoming a writer, because I feel like reading is probably one of the most important parts of becoming a writer. That's why libraries are so important. That's why cultural institutions that welcome everybody is so important. It's only through that exchange of ideas that we can say, yes, we can also exercise another of our human rights, which is the right to participate in a cultural life. But I feel like to teach writing, you have to practice. So, and I don't really think that the idea of being published is what makes you a writer. I just can't imagine not being a writer, because even without being published, I'd still be writing. It's just like breathing.